But with the AS3X, it's really helping out on this plane, especially like I said, it's a little breezy right now. Let's try a rudder turn, a real nasty one. Ooh, that's pretty good. Another one. Ooh, that's pretty good. Hello, I present to you, and no, it's not a shadow, my foam board 3D plane. This is built mostly from AS3X electronics, and I made it at once when the wind died just a little bit. And if you can tell right here, I had to swap the motor to a Volantex motor, and I was having issues with it binding, so I cleaned it up again and gonna test fly it out again. It's worth checking out how this flies. The roll axis is really good, and it actually flies kind of predictable as I expected. It rolls really good, and it has crazy authority on all control surfaces. But the moment you go a little bit sideways, because this is super profile and there's not even a little bit of material on the side right here to fake a fuselage, it's very easy to drop the moment you turn, and it's very hard to climb the moment your wings aren't level. So now that word stop is out of the way, let's go ahead and get it flying. And there's no plans on this, but I'll add photos of the build at the end of the video of as much as I could to help replicate this if someone's interested. If I were to do this again, I would probably add a little bit of fuselage this time and plan for it. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the camera in my head, and let's see how this thing flies. Flying on a 300 mAh 1S battery, and like I said, all AS3X electronics, even the landing gear. Only thing that's different is the Volantex motor. So be right back. Okay, got the camera on my head and gonna turn on the remote now and get situated.
Welcome to Edge TX. Throttle warning. Switch warning.
I had issues with this rebinding to the plane again. I'm not sure if it's just from movement or what. So I rebound. I put a bind button on channel 16 in case it doesn't bind. But no, it's actually, for some reason lately, after I installed the Volantex motor, it seems to bind better. Not sure what's going on there. But already, AS3X flight. Nothing is perfect, but like I said, I think it's worth checking out how this flies. It flies pretty interesting. It's a little bit of wind, like 3 to 5 miles per hour. So that's 50% power, but that doesn't mean it has a lot of power. It struggles to climb greatly, especially like I said, when your wings aren't level. So you can see it's drifting around with the AS3X in the wind. I'm just trying to get it to slow fly. I can't do that much crazy stuff. Look at that roll axis though. That's probably the best thing about this. And I'm not surprised. I made a profile plane, which like I said is worse than a normal, like if I added a little bit of fake fuselage. But also I tried to replicate an Su-26, which is known for being good at rolls and not much else from what I know actually anyways. Maybe I'm wrong. I should check more into it. So I can't fly too crazy and do like all the AS3X extra stunts. I'd be lying to you if I said I could. But for a Dollar Tree foam board and nothing special, it's pretty good. The Volantex motor actually, now that I mention it, with the stock AS3 Extra motor, it was super tail heavy, too tail heavy to fly. And now with the Volantex motor, it's perfect CG. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm upside down. Let me bring it around. Perfect CG with the Volantex motor. I had some nose weight with the Volantex motor and removed it because it actually wasn't necessary. So very happy. So you see, I can't do anything too crazy, but I gotta say, came in kind of hard, but my wheel got stuck. I gotta say, for my first foam board build, I am happy, because this is my first build and I didn't go off any plans. I just went off of the SU26 profile and went from there. So you can see this is about as good as it can climb right there. That's its climb rate. It's nothing crazy. Let's try a snap and then recover. Try a split S. It comes in nicely. Like, it flies, because it has the AS3X, it flies similar to a warbird that has just really good roll authority and a lot of wind mitigation. There's a lot of wind playing around right now. The profile on this plane isn't even completely straight because my rudder is trimmed out more than what looks like streamlined, like it's correcting some of the fuselage crookedness. But let me come in for a nice landing and you can see it almost doesn't matter. I could definitely pick a better weather day to fly this in. This is about 5 mph here and there. You see, it's pretty fun for a 1S. Like I said, my first plane, I'm happy with it. You could definitely improve even upon just this build if you were to cut a lot of foam holes and to find out the wrap that they use for models and to wrap the material that you cut around. Like on the wing and the tail fuselage, you could save so much weight. The back tail control surfaces. So I'm kind of pattern flying it because this is what it's good at. It's not good at being a crazy AS3X extra, but I'm okay with that. It flies, I would say, pretty good. I mean, the moment you roll it, it just looks like, it looks so good the moment you roll it. That was 2 rolls right there. Plenty of aileron authority. So I'll be showing a picture as well as close-ups of the video towards the end of the video if you'd like to try to replicate this. Like I said, I would try to add a fake fuselage because I'm having to add so much rudder and aileron with my turns, but 3D planes are kind of like that anyways. So cinema. It's a little hard to see, and you definitely don't want to lose orientation on this one. Rudder authority is plenty. As you can see, I'm flat turning it right there. Another flat turn. Ooh, into a stall. I had to correct. Well, with the AS3X, it's really helping out on this plane. Especially, like I said, it's a little breezy right now. Let's try a rudder turn, a real nasty one. Ooh, that's pretty good. Another one. Ooh, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that little rudder, turning that thing around like that's pretty good. And pretty flat too. I'm proud of this one, I would say. Oh, motor's surging. I don't know what's going on with that. Not sure if the board's overheating or if it's binding. I can keep flying it like that, but I prefer not to. It happens after a couple minutes, so it's smart to stop it. Why not? Maybe it's an issue with too low voltage, actually. So maybe that's just it, and it's not some weird thing going on. So that's pretty much it. There's not really another reason to put another battery in, and the wind's gonna breeze kicking up a little bit more. If you can kind of tell, this is just floating in my hand. But I mean, you get the flight performance idea with this right now. It's just gotta see how it is in less weather maybe. And yeah, I'm gonna show you in my room a close-up of how it's built. Hopefully try to get you guys close to this or replicate it. I've built this in a couple hours, just freehanding it on top of a cutting board. Freehanding the idea, not freehanding my measurements. I'm not a madman. And I loosely copied the AS3X control surfaces ratio, but this is about 80% the size of an AS3X Extra. It's 400 millimeters, perfect warbird size. So I'll go ahead and get in the house and change to my other planes. It's getting breezy. Hello, just showing my foam board RC plane a little bit more up close. I want to throw this in here real quick. That's a 400 millimeter plane, and if you can tell, the wingspan is very close. It's got way more wing area, but the wingspan is very close. So this is just to see a more detailed up close view in case anyone actually is interested in replicating this maybe, or trying it out in their own way. So up front we have the Volantex motor, and everything else is AS3X electronics. But I'm showing you the orientation and how everything goes. Notice the rudder and the elevator servo positions and where they are. You see on a lot of control surfaces, except for the ailerons, the control surface is bigger than the actual entire part of that wing. Like the elevator is way more control surface than stabilizer. So see, I got my ailerons, copied the AS3X layout, and they came out really clean in terms of how they perform. I have a slight bit of it's trimmed to fly evenly, but I fly it with a little bit of my ailerons trimmed up to prevent drag. You see, this is where it's trimmed so it flies level, so you see it's pretty balanced well. The rudder looks small, but if you've seen the video, it flies plenty big enough. So it's pretty fun. It's not overpowered. It doesn't fly like the stock AS3X, but my AS3X Extra was very badly damaged, so I now have a plane that kind of flies, I would say, similar to a Park Zone SU-26, but a little bit different. This one has AS3X, for example. The Park Zone SU-26 does not. And because of that, this can be landed and flown so smoothly. You can see in the video I fly it a little crazy sometimes, but you can fly it more smoother. There's nothing too crazier you can do with it, like you can't hover, there's not enough power, but pretty fun build. Took a few hours just freehanding, cutting, and assembling. Check out how straight I got everything. I didn't get the fuselage that straight apparently, but the wings I'm pretty happy with. They lined up. If you could see, the elevator and the wing lines up very nicely. And everything's pretty 90, considering I used no corner brackets or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video on my little foam board plane. It was pretty fun. If I were to do it again, I would add a little bit of small foam board to make it more fuselage 2D and improve the handling once it's on its axis then once it's rolled a little bit. But this currently weighs, I'd have to double check, I believe 55 grams flying weight now. So it's not too bad. Like I said, with the AS3X technology in there. So got the landing gear from the stock extra, got a little tail dragger set up. Pretty nice, pretty fun. Let me plug it in real quick actually. The battery just charged. In case you can get a close-up look. Might have trouble binding it because I plugged in the battery before my remote.
Welcome to HTX.
See, I did try a bind button. Let's see if this works. Oof. Okay. There we go. Oh, these are small demonstration of power. Kinda. Also another demonstration. Comes just bouncing like that. So it's not hover power, but it's close to it. If you can see it in the video too, you can't hover, but yeah, that's all now. Thanks.